No, it's good. That includes many of the Neshei HaKollel who made the food, so we thank them. And the two people that really work on behalf of the whole Olam to make it really possible and think about all the pratim is Rabbi Yochmiel Parsons, Rabbi Tzvi Ullman, and it's just an opportunity, Rabbi, to thank them for everything they do to make everything in the Kollel go smoothly on behalf of the entire Tzibur, and really thinking about everybody, every Yachid, and thinking about the Tzibur as well. So we give them a great yeshakar on behalf of the whole Olam. So it's a big schus tonight for me personally, because I know Rabbi Malinowitz since my days in Lakewood. We were in the same chabura, and we shared many chaverim together. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, 5 years ago, I see his name popping up all over the place, and then I decided, you know what, if his name is all over the place, I'm going to try to listen to him too. So I was at a place and he was speaking, and it's really gewaldic to see how Rabbi Malinowitz has become a leader in Klal Yisrael specifically for motivating Balabatim and motivating Anshe Klal to get involved in Limud HaTorah and getting involved in improving themselves. Recently became a Rav of a Kehillah as well, and we thought it was very appropriate, as our Tzibur is full, every single person here is a Ben Aliyah, is full of Bnei Aliyah, and it's really very appropriate that Rabbi Malinowitz said yes to coming the first night Chanukah, leaving his family, and we know it's a big sacrifice, but we really appreciate his effort in joining us tonight, being mechazik the Olam. So it's our kavod to call on Rabbi Malinowitz to mechazik the Olam and take words of kavod Chanukah. Shkoyach.
This thing was just leave it in, it's good? Alright. Yeah. Sorry. Who's that? I must say, this is truly unbelievable. In my, when Rabbi called me, thank you, Tzaddik. When Rabbi called me and invited me to come, so besides for using the truth and excuses and trying to get out of it, he described that, we have a community and a whole community, and I could tell you that really I consider myself one of the founders of the Kollel here, because I was sitting in Lakewood Yeshiva, I don't know if it was 17, 18 years ago. What is it? 14 years ago? No. 15. I was learning with a Ram Danziger, first Seder, Friday morning.
That was 17.
That was them? Okay.
7 years ago today. That's when it started.
Today. It was a Friday morning, and we were learning first Seder, and someone came over and pulled him out, and I said, where you going? We're in the middle of learning. He says, yeah, there's someone here, someone from Florida. Yeah, it's not Negea. It's fine. We're just going to go and make him happy, mechazik him. And I said, okay, no problem. Enjoy yourself. Mechazik Yid. I would even go to Florida to be mechazik Yid. So the rest is history. And Rabbi Avram was my chavrusa, and Zalek Rabalski sat next to us, and I think you were more from the chabura. And then Baruch Hashem, Rabbi Blezer, who sat next to in Lakewood. And it's truly a kavod to be here. But I'm honestly very amazed at what's going on over here. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. So why did I come? What type of crazy Michigan that comes on the first night of Chanukah away from his family? I'll tell you the truth. So first he called me and I told him he wanted me to come Thursday. I said Friday, and then again I'm not flying Friday. And he called me back. We will do Wednesday night. So Rabbi is a Don Segel,
And I remember that Rabbi once came, I think, to speak here. And being quite a close Talmud of Rabbi, I follow him around and I know where he goes. And he doesn't go very often to such places. And the fact that he came, it meant something to me. But okay, fine, he came. So I asked him. When Tzvi called me, I sent him a message, I asked him the question, and he told me to come. So if Don says go, you go. So Tati, it says two things in this. First of all, the godless of what's going on over here. You know, that Rav Don would send someone the first night of Chanukah away from his family to come, that itself is amazing. But also, the amount of people here that are looking to be inspired, that want to connect with their Rebbeinu Shalom, that want to come closer, that want to gain from Chanukah, is really very, very unique, very profound, and very meaningful. How long do I speak for? You tell me when to stop. All right. The Kollel, the Rabbanim, I see. It's like so many people. I'm like overwhelmed by the amount of people that I know here. Chanukah is really a magical time. It's not as cold in Florida as it is in Lakewood or the north, but when you come out of your car and it's freezing cold outside, and this week in Lakewood it's absolutely freezing, and you go inside into the warm home, and those Chanukah lecht, that there's no way that a guy could ever understand the feeling and meaning and inspiration that one gains from just looking at those lecht. Even before you get into the Lamed Vav Shois of the Or Hagonos, just looking at the lecht without Tifa Machshavas, you see the flickering flames that are dancing in front of us and inspiring and igniting our neshamas in a way that nothing else can do. It's magical. It's like a fairy tale land of chaloimus, of dream. It's like something very unique and very special. And the challenge is how to make those unique feelings, the sense that's within all of us, that there's something very special going on over here that may seem hidden, that may be hidden, that's bottled up in something, waiting to be pricked and explode, and enter our neshamas, mikayach el hapoel, and inspire us, and allow us to come closer to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and bring us closer in the messages of Chanukah. There's so many pieces to understand. How do we make it practical? How do we make it meaningful? How do we make it real? Rabbi, you started in a very good light over here, because it looks more like a Purim Mesiba than a Chanukah Mesiba. And how, as Rabbi Drasha mentioned, is the essence of the Yom. So you're on a good road. But let's take this path a little further and understand the essence of what we're doing on Chanukah. And how do we get inspired, and how do we create a meaningful understanding and a meaningful way of when the Chanukah is over, feeling that we taka have taken and we taka have grown, and we have been inspired in the way that we'd like to be inspired. The pasuk tells us, there was darkness in the world in the beginning of creation. And Chazal tell us that the darkness of the world represents Golus of Yavod, the Greeks, when they took over Klal Yisrael and challenged them and challenged our Ruchnius and challenged our ability to live Al Pi Torah, to learn Torah, challenged Kedushas Yisrael, challenged everything that we feel holy, they challenged in the strongest ways. Choshech Yavon, it's a terminology of darkness, of night. That's what Chazal tell us. And the pasuk says, Toshes Choshech v'hiloilo, etzim nighttime is described as darkness. There are places in the world that are not dark at night. Hagam, that's the general teva, is that it's dark at night, but there are such a musig of nighttime without darkness. Without getting into the halacha ramifications of those places. Just come to Florida, you don't gotta go to Amsterdam, it's not good. Laila is choshech. Laila is Yavon, Choshech is Yavon. What is it about the nighttime that we light these candles dafka at night, that they flicker at night, that they inspire us at night? What's the nighttime? What's the representation of nighttime? These weeks, these parshiyas, Miketz, Vayeshev, Miketz, Vayigash, Shragi, that puts them together in one parsha in a sefer. And the general theme of these parshiyas is very much chalomis, dreams. Nighttime is when people dream. In the parasha it says, the dreams of the nighttime are the dreams that are recognized in the Torah. Yaakov Avinu, Chazal say that the sun set, that he should have his nevuah in his dream. It's dreams of the nighttime. And these dreams are dreams of Yosef HaTzadik's dreams, and Yaakov's dream are dreams of the Golus. They're the dreams Yaakov Avinu dreamt of the four Goliaths. Yosef HaTzadik had these dreams of Kollel going down to Mitzrayim without understanding exactly what they were, but they were the nevuah, as the Ramban describes it, of Kollel going down to Mitzrayim and ultimately the Golus of Mitzrayim. I saw a Mordechai Maisa. There's a Yid in Eretz Yisrael, Rav Zamir Kohen. Anyone ever heard of him? He dabrut. I haven't heard of him. Okay.
He was just there.
He was here. Oh, everyone makes it to Florida. Look at this. Wow. In the winter. I was here in the summer. And Rav Zamir Kohen said an unbelievable story. He gives speeches to all sorts of crowds. And he was one time giving his speech about chalomis, about dreams. And a woman came over to him afterwards. She's a very well-known journalist, a non-Orthodox journalist in Eretz Yisrael. And she came to his speech on chalomis, on dreams. And she went over to him afterwards and said, "You're probably wondering why I'm here." She wasn't the friendliest of people to people the likes of Rav Zamir Kohen or his family or his chevra. And she showed up at this speech. What's he doing here? She doesn't want to necessarily write a piece of journalism on dreams. What's going on? She said, "I'll tell you the story." One night, she went to sleep and she had a dream, like many people. Don't get scared, everybody say. The Gemara says, "David Chalim is Laman, let me read in." There's a whole sugi about this. We're going to learn this in the Kollel one day. But this is the Maisa, amazing Maisa. She went to sleep and she had a dream. And in the dream, there were three older Yidden, from Yidden Rabbanim with long white beards, sitting across the table from her. And she tells them, "Rabbis, I got nothing to do with you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Get out of here. What are you doing here?" So they start yelling at her. And they say, "Go save your daughter. Your daughter's in danger." So first she was like shooken up. She says, "I don't talk to people like you. Go back home. Don't bother me. Go save your daughter. She's in danger. Run. Go save your daughter." And then she wakes up. So she was shaken up enough. She jumps out of bed. And she runs to her daughter's room. And there's a little fire starting to burn in her daughter's room. And she pulls her daughter out of bed and runs out of the house and saves her daughter's life. And she tells her Kohen, she says, "I went from university to university to university, speeches about dreams and dreams and dreams, and they're all nothing. It's empty. It's nice speeches, talk nicely. They may be a little bit more capable of saying the right words. Empty, it's nothing in there. I came to hear, I figured, my last resort is coming to hear from you talk about it. Now I understand what it means to have a dream." We go through parshiyos of chalomis. We need to be like this woman. What's going on? Why are these nevuahs dafka in chalomis? Yosef HaTzadik. There's no other way Hashem to give him a nevuah other than a chaloim. Yaakov Avinu's nevuah about Kollel Yisrael's entire Asidus is in a dream. Yaakov had other nevuahs as well. Dafka, this nevuah is in a dream. What is it about dreams? What's the essence of a dream? And how does it tie back in to Choshech Zu Yavon? The Rambam says, a well-known Rambam, that mitzvahs ner Chanukah chaviv hi ad moed. Everyone's shaking their heads. Everyone's familiar with this Rambam, I see. Chaviv hi ad moed. It's very, very beloved. I am not a Baki in Rambam, but I've never come across another Rambam with this terminology. Chavivhi ad ma'od. It's a wonderful thing. There's other mitzvahs in the Torah, and Chazal created other mitzvahs as well. It's a beautiful yontiv. What is it about the Ner Chanukah that's Chavivhi ad ma'od? And Chaviva means beloved. Beloved means emotional connection, love. There's an emotional connection there. Every part of Yiddishkeit should really have emotional connection. If we understand and appreciate and have inspiration and meaning when we do things, everything would be chavav, would be beloved, would be connecting. What is it about Chanukah that's more connecting than anything else? What is the Rambam telling us over here? The main actors, if we call it that, in the story of Chanukah are the Chashmonaim, the Maccabees. The term Maccabee goes back very, very far. The Goyin brings, I believe, from the Tikkunei Zohar, if I'm not mistaken, that Maccabee, it's well known, many of us are taught this in school, that it stands for the words Mi Chamoicha Ba'elim Hashem. Mem Kaf Beis Yud Mi Chamoicha Ba'elim Hashem. The Shlach Kodesh brings that it references also Baruch Kivod Hashem Mukaimai. That means the Maccabees, the essence, as we know the name, as it says by other Mauritian when he called the animals names, the name represents the essence of the person. And if Chazal are referring to the Maccabees as Maccabee, with this Mi Chamoicha Ba'elim Hashem, whatever stories you heard when you were children or when you were older about the Maccabees on their shields, they had this pasuk, didn't have this pasuk, but there definitely is a reference to this. What is it about these Chashmonaim that these are the psukim that reference the Chashmonaim? And Chanukah itself is represented, the Yontiv of Chanukah is represented by these people. And it's very interesting to note because really Chanukah is made up of many different stories. It wasn't a short span of time, and there's really numerous parts of Chanukah. Number one, there was Xeris Shmad. They tried to destroy Klal Yisrael in Ruchnius. There was also a Milchama, a war which was impossible to win. Then we had the miracle of Shem and the miracle of the Lord that lasted 8 days. And finally the Chanukah HaMezbeach, Chanukah HaMishkan, that the Beis HaMikdash, that Klal Yisrael and the Kohanim together rebuilt and purified and fixed up the Beis HaMikdash to a way that they were able to experience once again the Kedusha and Tahara that comes with the Beis HaMikdash. Who were the actors, don't mind the term, in all these things? The same people, the Kohanim. You could have had the Florida, the North Miami Beach Kollel fought the war. You could have had the Chveis, another Kollel fight the Xeris Hashmad. The Shemin could have been pressed with someone else. The Maccabees did everything themselves. It's interesting. It's unique. They were the ones in everything. They were the ones that did everything. They did war. Everything was them. And they weren't a big group of people. And as a matter of fact, most of Klal Yisrael was against them. We see here that the Maccabees, this Mi Chamoicha Ba'elim Hashem, is something that translates who the Maccabees were and how the miracles of Chanukah happened. And that we have to learn from them what we can take from Chanukah and inspire ourselves to take out from Chanukah and grow from those flickering flames that we're talking about. I heard once a story. There's a Yid in Brooklyn, official Shachter. Ever heard of him? Yeah? He never came here?
In the winter.
In the winter, okay. Well, you have a house here for sale, man? You definitely have wine here for sale, that's for sure. So I heard a Maisa from him. Some of you may have heard the story. It's glad to say it over anyways. The official Shachter has, Baruch Hashem, a large family. And one time, Chol HaMoed, his wife was trying to cook. And he did what many Yidden in Borough Park do. Got in the car and drove to JFK. You know what JFK is over here? It's the airport in the Far Rockaway area. And, what is it? And he took his kids on something called the monorail. The monorail is like a train that goes around, then around, then around, like a dreidel. It's spinning, goes around and around and around, goes around the airport, around the airport. And it works well for Jews because it's free. And you come and you have a whole Cholamayit trip, and the kids are thrilled. You went on the train, and it's Erev Yontav. Your wife said, "Everyone's at work, Kabbalik, so you got on the monorail." So he's going around and around, from terminal to terminal to terminal. And one time he's sitting down, his kids are enjoying themselves, and into the train comes a pilot. Now, I spent some time studying pilots. I was in Chicago last week, but 2 weeks ago, at H3, and I met a whole group of pilots. And I always thought that the cops have stripes. The pilots have stripes also. Have you noticed that? That's okay, it's nothing. That's not a sugya for now. That goes with the other sugya. But Al Kapanim, a pilot came, I don't know how many stripes he had, and he sits down next to him and he says, I don't know what terminology, probably not Shalom Aleichem. Hello. He said, hello. Mr. Rabbi Shat is a very, very friendly guy. How are you? Good. Where you coming from? China, please. Where you coming from? Borough Park. Good. Very nice. Thank you. Where you going? Borough Park. Okay. What brings you here? So he said, I'll tell you the truth. You know, we have a holiday now, and what did he say? I didn't say that so fast. We have a holiday, and Baruch Hashem, I have a family of kids. Look at these kids jumping around over here. And my wife's trying to cook. And we're looking for something that's free. And we decided, let's go on the monorail. So we came in the monorail. So he says, you came from Borough Park to ride the train around and around, and you're going back to Borough Park? Yeah, that's what we did. And the pilot told him something so profound. It's maybe Shem at Be'ershtach Roinai. He said, you are different than me. In many ways, but he only said one way. Me, what do? I fly around the whole world. China, Mexico, Florida, Eretz Yisrael, Egypt, I go everywhere in the world. And I travel and I travel and I go everywhere. But really, I'm going nowhere. Nowhere. You're going nowhere. But you're really going everywhere. Such a profound statement about Yiddishkeit. A Yid could be in his Dalet Amos going nowhere, but we're going everywhere. Because the whole world rests upon us. And every action we do, every step we take, every move we make, every word we say, affects the entire universe. And the world stands upon us. And this pilot coming from China somehow understood that. That's the message of Micha Moicha Be'elam Hashem. The Rebbeinu Shalom is our compass. Our compass focuses on the Rebbeinu Shalom and coming closer to Him. The Bar Leib Steinman's Yotzai was today. The Bar Leib famously asked Rabbi Moshe Soloveitchik, what's the Yid's goal in life? And he said, to be Merkava L'Shechina. That means to exist entirely and only with the Rebbeinu Shalom. That every move, that every step, that every word I do is how will I connect more with the Rebbeinu Shalom and become more connected and become closer and grow myself and my family to bring closer to the Rebbeinu Shalom. That's Micha Moicha Be'elam Hashem. That's Baruch Kavod Hashem and Koimei. That's what the Maccabees represented. So how do we focus our compasses on the Rebbeinu Shalom? What's the practice? Very nice. Shane Ray, good. Thank you for coming, Rabbi from Lakewood. What do? What's the actionable we say? There's a new, I don't know if it's new, there's a sefer, I learned with one of my chevra in the office, and he's an of Chanukah Hirsch. They put out, I think it's new. Maybe by these guys, even like 50 years old, it's new. But anyways, no offense to anyone that's in April, I love them. The Al-Kabanim, it says at the end of every shtickle, it says takeaway. This and a takeaway. So what's the takeaway? Tachlis, Lamaisa. What do we do practically? The Timu Kol Hashmanim. What did the Yevanim do? They didn't pour out the oil. They didn't destroy the oil. The Timu Kol Hashmanim. They defiled. They contaminated spiritually the Shmanim. They took the oil that represents Torah, that represents the Menorah, that represents Yiddishkeit, the flickering, magical flames that we're talking about in the Beis HaMikdash, Chilayla Utzarich, and they defiled it and made them Tameh. And what they were doing was, the Maral explains, even without drinking?
Because they're drinking, you don't think better about it.
That's what I know that. I noticed that from the drinking. The Maral explains. Excuse me. shtickle Purim. The Maral explains that the Yevonim believed in the human race. The human race is the most powerful item in the world. The minds of the humans, the brains of the humans, the inventions of the human, the ideas of the human, thought processes of the human is the greatest or highest level we can reach. And us as Yidden, as we know from Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, famous thing, I'm not sure if it's true, but it's famous anyways. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein once said that someone accused him of having Deis Chayzvis. And he said, everything I know and everything in my entire brain and my heart all comes from Torah. How do I know? Because I never looked at anything in the world other than Torah. And our lives, even if we're not Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, our lives are lived al pi chochmas HaTorah. Torah trains us and gives us that moral compass to come close to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And the Limud HaTorah and Achzokas HaTorah and Avos HaTorah and Kesher HaTorah connects a person in the deepest way, as the Nefesh HaChaim speaks about, that the deepest connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom is Das Hashem, Das Elokim, which is Torah. I did not come from Lakewood to give you a speech to learn Torah. That wasn't my idea. But I want to tell you something amazing. I have a friend whose daughter got married recently. He told me that I don't know if it was right before or right after his daughter Chasana, he's a man of means. He took out his checkbook and gave his daughter a check for $50,000. And he told her as follows: this is not for a house, this is not for wine, it's that you should have Menuchas HaNefesh. This is a Menuchas HaNefesh check. And their conversation didn't go so easily. She didn't say, great, thanks, Ta. Not sure why. But he was describing.
She wanted more Menuchas HaNefesh.
Maybe $50,000 comes with a price tag. He's a very nice guy. But which normal person with a good relationship with their parents would say no to such a thing? Gotta be crazy, right? $50,000. How many Shabbos sudas could you have in Maladafna for $50,000? You know? Who knows what Maladafna is here? Huh? We didn't bring Maladafna in. Nachum Einstein never came in?
He did, he just got here.
In the winter. I give up, that's it. Okay, all right. The Rebbeinu Shalom is giving every one of us a check for a lot more than $50,000 today. Chanukah has within it the inspiration and the ability to connect on immeasurable heights. Immeasurable heights. My Rebbe had done several. It was the day that Baron Leib Steinman was nifta. He was very close to the Baron Leib. And Baron Leib was nifta, as we just mentioned, Erev Chanukah. And he sent in a question to Eretz Yisrael. He was in America at the time, if he should rice Kriya. And the tshuva he got back was after Chatzos that he should rice Kriya. And for Abdon not to rice Kriya on the Baron Leib probably was very painful. But he said, I feel already the hashlois of Chanukah. I can't. Someone that's living with the moral compass, with the moral thermometer, to be able to feel, to sense the kedusha, the ability, the nuclear connection that's a person able to gain through Chanukah can sense that themselves. But we know it. We have a Kabbalah for our tzaddikim about this tremendous ability. Everyone here says to live Savala Mishkan Yachanu. I'm not sure how far the community expands. I asked someone over here, how many people live in the community? No offense to anyone here. I love everyone. It's about 300, and the guy next to me. No, it's not 300. It's more, it's less. I don't know. On my block, there's 300 people.
1,000 families.
1,000 families. All right. Nachum Einstein is 1,001. Today the taco wrong.
You're 1,000 more.
You have a house? Take you said I should get on mine. No, I really feel like Lakewood. Everyone lives Savan Mishkan Yachanu. I don't know in a physical sense, but in a spiritual sense. Either you're the rich Kollel, Paiskin, Avrei Kollel, Chavrei Kollel, Oyhavei Kollel, Mespalei Kollel. Everything ends with Kollel. It's like Eisenbach in Yerushalayim. I'm an Eisenbach Yannikel, by the way. Yeah, you could throw a rock at me. Yeah, no problem. Those of you that know the joke. And you're zeichet to have that deep connection to Torah, naturally. Some of you may have invested more energy, more effort into it, but you're naturally connected to a Makam Torah, a Makam Kaddish. You walk in here, I'm telling you, I'm not just making you feel that. I don't have to say this. You could literally feel it in the air. You really could. It's really amazing. It really, truly, truly amazing. Look at that Torah Shulchan Aruch. How many years old is that? Huh? How many years? Can't be too old. It didn't come out that long ago. Very old? 14 years?
5 years.
Maybe 5 years old. Unbelievable. You feel the Kedusha. You feel it. You mamash feel it in here. It's amazing. That means you have that connection to Torah. You have that ability. The goal of this Chanukah, our goal of this Chanukah within the next 8 days, is to up and a drop. And I mean the following. I was on a plane a week and a half ago, as I mentioned, from Chicago. Rabbi Deutsch. Was he here? You miss it. Forget it. Rabbi Deutsch, those of you that don't know him are missing out. But he came to Chicago. I'm very close. I can't say very close. I'm as close as it very lets you get. And he, for some reason, does not have TSA pre or clear. Now, everybody else that went to that H3, I guess, had TSA pre and or clear. So we were all on the plane, and someone comes running over to me, and he says, Rabbi's not on the plane. I said, Rabbi's on the flight? He's on the flight. I said, how do you know? He said, because I saw him waiting on the line. I said, okay, so you want to stop the plane? What do you want to do exactly? So he said, maybe. I said, Rabbi deserves it. So I'm not going to go to stop the plane if I don't know. So I called him. He didn't pick up. I called him again. He didn't pick up. I called him the third time. Finally, he picks up. And he says, I said, where are you? So he says, I'm by the gate, but they must have switched my boarding pass, and it doesn't go in, and they're not letting me on the plane. So then I said, okay, that I can already make a shot. The said, I know people wouldn't do it. The Bruri did it for. I went over to the stewardess and I said, our chief rabbi's here. You see all those guys with hats or whatever we were over there? All the Jews here? We didn't come for a free monorail ride. We came for a plane ride. Our chief rabbi's outside the door. You can't leave him here. We're not going. So she started banging on the door. And she called the pilot and they called the Mesiba. What really happened was that they took on, I know because the seat next to me was empty, they put it in. They took on another, they have these, if you're part of the airline, you come on for free. They took on someone and the seat was taken. That's really what happened. But I come on and they tried and they tried and they tried. And we left without a worry. And he made it back to Lake on the next flight, believe it or not. But what was the lesson? Rabbi may have been the greatest Talmid Chacham on the plane. Probably was. I just don't know everyone else on the plane, so I can't say for sure. Probably he was. But he missed the plane. So he didn't get back to Lakewood for another hour. Terrible. If you make the plane, then you'll end up in Lakewood. I mean Florida, sorry. If you make the plane, you'll end up there. The goal is to get on the plane. When a person takes that step in the right direction, whatever that is, it doesn't mean, when I ask to become L'chaim, can you ask you overnight? Take that step in the right direction on Chanukah, because Chanukah is the time that the gates are open. Chanukah is the time that the Hashbois are here. Chanukah is the time that the Rebbe Shalom is giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and Limud HaTorah in particular, because that's what they were fighting. And that's what the Chashmonaim and the Maccabees fought against. And we're making efforts to save Limud HaTorah and the connection to Torah. So grab that opportunity. Don't waste the 50 grand. The Rebbe Shalom, your father's giving you $50,000. Don't be silly. Take it. Do something. Gotta get back to dreams, and then we'll close. What's a dream? A dream is a reality within a non-reality. Or a non-reality within a reality, however you want to say it. Chaim Berlin or not. Or how much wine you drank. Or both. It feels very real. Sometimes a person in a dream and they wake up in a sweat. Baruch Hashem, was a dream. It felt so real. I was there. It was happening. And then Baruch Hashem, it's over. It's nothing. A dream feels like reality, but it's really non-reality. The entire Golus is defined by dreams. Why? Because Golus, as the Pasuk tells us in Shir Malinowitz, we were dreaming. Golus is a dream. Because it's a non-reality, it's nothing. It's just challenges, Hashem Tzadik Yivcham. It's darkness. But our job is to take the Chanukah menorah and light the flame in the darkness. Listen to recognizing the Rabbi Shalom. Recognize your own ability to light up the world, to light up your souls, to light up your families, to light up the entire world. How? By believing, recognizing, working on Micha, Moicha, B'Elam Hashem. On Baruch Chvod Hashem and Kollel. On living with the Rabbi Shalom. Chanukah is a man of Halal Haidah. Haidah, the Chazon Ish said, is the first Pesach to Emun in the Rabbi Shalom. The entire Chayvus Halavis is built on Haidah. When a person remains connected to the Rabbi Shalom, it's like anesthesia in today's very often difficult world. We don't feel it because the kesher with the Rabbi Shalom allows a person to grow and connect and be happy throughout all the challenges. The most valuable tool a Yid will ever have is emunah and betachan in the Rabbi Shalom. There's nothing else that will carry a person through life like emunah and betachan in the Rabbi Shalom. And it's not black and white. Whatever level a person has, that's how Hashem will shtel too. It's a never-ending avodah, emunah and betachan in the Rabbi Shalom. But the gates are open for Torah, and the gates are open for emunah, micha, moicha, b'elam Hashem. The Rabbi Shalom is pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring. Open your hands. He's giving. I've done this over from the Schuster. The Schuster was well-known. He was known as the Schuster. He was a shoemaker. Yaakov. The Schuster. He was a big makobel in Leibrak. Chazon Ish sent people to have brachas. The Schuster told Reb Dunn, the Eibishter gift, the Rabbi Shalom always gives. We only need to open our hands. Hashem's giving us, especially on Chanukah these days of Ashbois, to connect. Take a step in the right way of Torah, a step in the right way of Emunah. And the Rebbe will pour upon you, you wouldn't believe the amount of Ashbois. I want to end with a story. There was a Yid in Eretz Yisrael, Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky. Was he ever here? How do you know? Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky, I think any of you that have read the book or met him, was the picture and the pinnacle of a happy, go-lucky, jolly, and I can't find many more ways to describe him, the happiest person that ever lived. Just endless jokes and happiness, and it was all great, and everything's great. He happened to be an Adam Gadlad, Moed, learning. Tremendous, tremendous person. Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky came from Europe right after the war. And Rahman al-Islam, he lost a child in Europe, and he came to the Chazon Ish, broken, entirely broken. And he told the Chazon Ish, I have no interest. I did it. Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky, what he went through in Europe, in Russia, was unbelievable. That's it, I had enough, that's it. And the Chazon Ish told him an amazing thing. And this is the gift for everyone. As he said, a story that there was a family lived in Europe. There was a town in Europe, for those of you that had grandparents that were European, called Leipzig. Leipzig was the example of a fear of a town they used to have once a year, they had these shuk, I don't know what they call them, in English, a marketplace. They did business for a year there. And there was a wealthy Yid who used to go every year, bring his fortune there, buy right away a bunch of things on sale, and throughout the week he would sell them and make a fortune for the year and live off that money. One year he wasn't well, and he sent his wife instead. And his wife says, I don't know, my tooth from my nails to my head and business, what are you sending me? She says, I don't have a choice. Shtadlis, you going? Okay, she went. And she comes there, and she walks, and she's overwhelmed, and she's afraid. She didn't buy one thing, she didn't sell one thing, nothing. She did one thing. She lost her pocketbook with all the money for the year inside. And she was very, very broken. And she comes back to the hotel, and she goes running back to the marketplace. And there's someone, a yid, holding her purse, says, that's mine, thank you! And he says, it's mine now. So she says, what do you mean, it's mine, look, it's mine. She says, yeah, but we're in the majority of people there are non-Jews. You're Miyayish, Kollel Miyayish, it's mine. And they're fighting, and someone says, why don't you go to the Rav? So go to the Rav. And the Rav starts asking her, what is this? And she says the whole story. So the Rav says, whose money is it? So she says, it's my husband's. My husband sends it every year, he comes and says, so he tells the person, whose money do you say? He says, it was his, but right now she is Miyayish, and now it's mine. So the Rav says, it's a clever Rav. It's not hers, it's his. She can't be Miyayish for him. The Yish doesn't work. It's her money, give it back to her, go make business. Shalom Yisrael. Zot the Chazon Ish to Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky. Your neshama, your life, your spirituality, your destiny, your family is not yours. It's the Rabbi Shalom's. You don't have the ability to be miyayish on yourself. It's not your neshama, like kai neshama shenasatabi to hayrihi. It's not yours. It's the Rabbi Shalom's. You can't be miyayish. Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky went on to become the jolliest, happiest, most freilich person that was mashpil on thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Why? Because you didn't give up on his ability to grow and be happy and remain steadfast in belief in the Rabbi Shalom and connection to him throughout thick and thin, no matter what happened in his life. Rabbi say it's Chanukah. Our neshama is not ours to leave go of and drop. It's the Rabbi Shalom's. It's our responsibility to take advantage of this tremendous opportunity that we're here for, and gain, and grow, and try, as all we can do in life is try, and with Siyata D'Shmaya will all together come. The dreams, the nightmares will be ending, and the Mitzvah will go with the Mashiach Tzidkeinu, B'meir V'Yameinu, Amen V'Amen.